Gavin Newsom, who's running around saying we all have California derangement syndrome. He's just like ripping off Trump derangement and calling it California derangement. It's like, no. How many corporations have left California?
It's crazy.
Joe Rogan and Gavin Newsom's heated back and forth shows no signs of cooling as Rogan fires back with sharp criticism.
Joe Rogan and Gavin Newsom's heated exchange shows no signs of slowing down as Rogan fires back with sharp criticism of the California governor, this time with Elon Musk jumping into the debate. Together, Rogan and Musk delivered a tough takedown of Newsom's policies in the Golden State, mixing biting commentary with moments of dark humor. The clash quickly turned into a brutally entertaining spectacle, leaving plenty to unpack as tensions continue to rise between the outspoken trio.
Something. That's what's nuts. There's always some new law that's passed, some new insane thing that California's doing.
Yeah.
And it's like a giant chunk of it's happening in California. The most preposterous things that I get.
Yeah.
And then you got
crazy.
Gavin Newsom, who's running around saying we all have California derangement syndrome. He's just like ripping off Trump derangement and calling it California derangement. It's like, no. How many corporations have left California?
It's crazy. Like,
hundreds.
Yes, hundreds.
Right? Hundreds.
Yes.
That's not good.
Chick-fil-A. I think In-N-Out left.
Yeah, In-N-Out left. They moved to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, we can't do this anymore.
Right. And
it's the California company for food. It's
Yes.
like the greatest hamburger place ever.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not actually speaking of like just sort of open source and like looking at things openly. I just like going In-N-Out and seeing them make the burger.
California has seen a steady exodus of major corporations, as many point fingers at Governor Gavin Newsom's administration for fostering an increasingly hostile business environment. In 2021, Tesla moved its headquarters from Palo Alto to Austin, citing soaring living costs and restrictive regulations that hindered innovation. A year earlier, Oracle made a similar move from Redwood City to Austin to take advantage of lower taxes and greater workforce flexibility. Even Chevron, after more than a century in California, relocated its headquarters to Houston in 2024, frustrated by mounting regulations and skyrocketing operational expenses. These high-profile departures highlight growing fears that California's current economic model is pushing away the very companies that once made the Golden State a powerhouse of American prosperity.
Speaking of like just sort of open source and like looking at things openly, I just like going In-N-Out and seeing them make the burger.
Yeah, it's right there.
They chop the onions and they you just see everything getting made in front of you.
Yeah.
It's great. But yeah, it should be like, how many wake-up calls do you need to say that it needs to be reform in California? You know?
Well, the crazy thing that Newsom does is whenever someone brings up the problems in California, he starts rattling off all the positives. The most Fortune 500 companies, highest education. But yeah, that was all already there before you were governor.
But how many Fortune 500 companies have left California?
Right. And then you guys spent $24 billion on the homeless, and it got way worse.
Yes. Like the homeless population doubled or something. Like people don't understand like the homeless thing because it sort of preys on people's empathy, and I think we should have empathy.
It's astonishing when you think about it. California has poured an incredible $24 billion into addressing its homelessness crisis, yet the problem hasn't improved. It's actually doubled. For many, this outcome isn't surprising. Critics argue that the state's strategy has been deeply flawed, focusing more on appearances than real solutions. Instead of restoring public spaces and helping people truly rebuild their lives, the policies have effectively normalized life on the streets. Tent encampments have become permanent landmarks, while well-intentioned programs have too often fostered dependency rather than recovery. As a result, many homeless individuals remain trapped in the same cycle of poverty and despair. What was meant to be compassion has instead become a tragic display of wasted resources and misplaced priorities, leaving California's streets looking less like a beacon of hope and more like a failed social experiment.
Really, it's dark, man. It should be that network of NGOs should be called like the drug zombie farmers, because the more homeless people and really. Like when you meet like somebody who's like totally dead inside, shuffling along down the street with a needle dangling out of their leg, homeless is the wrong word. Like, homeless implies that somebody got a little behind on their mortgage payments, and if they just got a job offer, they'd be back on their feet. But someone who's, I mean, you see these videos of people that are just shuffling, you know, they're on fentanyl, they're like, you know, taking a dump in the middle of the streets, you know, and they got like open sores and stuff. They're not like one job offer away from.
Musk's point hits hard, and he's absolutely right. It's becoming increasingly evident that certain groups hide behind the language of empathy while benefiting from systems that keep receiving funding without producing real results. The deeper issue is that many of those living on the streets aren't merely victims of bad luck. They're caught in cycles of addiction and mental illness, left without meaningful support or structure. What's needed isn't more virtue signaling or ballooning budgets. It's decisive government action. That means expanding structured recovery programs, improving access to mental health care, and strengthening drug treatment enforcement in high-risk areas. When combined with transitional housing and job reintegration efforts, these steps could foster genuine recovery. Until then, the state will continue to funnel money into programs that look good on paper but fail in practice, leaving both the homeless and the public trapped in a cycle of frustration and loss.
So, and then the you know, these sort of charities, in quotes, they get money proportionate to the number of homeless people or number of drug zombies.
Right.
So their incentive structure is to maximize the number of drug zombies, not minimize it.
Right.
That's why they don't arrest the drug dealers. Because if they arrest the drug dealers, the drug zombies leave. So they know who the drug dealers are. They don't arrest them on purpose. Because otherwise, the drug zombies would leave, and they would stop getting money from the state of California. And
This revelation is truly eye-opening and sheds light on why California has poured billions into fighting homelessness. Yet the crisis remains as dire as ever. The reality is that much of the funding never reaches the people it's intended to help. Instead, it gets absorbed by a sprawling network of nonprofits, contractors, and bureaucratic programs built to reward activity rather than real results. It's a scenario reminiscent of when the Trump administration cut off certain USAID-funded charities after uncovering that money was being diverted toward political agendas and administrative overhead instead of genuine humanitarian aid. The same dynamic seems to be at play here. When funds meant for solutions become paychecks for middlemen, the crisis only grows deeper. California doesn't suffer from a lack of funding. It suffers from a lack of accountability and oversight, all too often disguised as compassion. Even law enforcement's coordination in this effort highlights how deeply the system has become entangled in managing failure rather than fixing it.